I've been running my A&T for almost 2 years now, and in this video I'm going to drop you guys all of my knowledge that I've learned in the past 2 years that has made me multiple six figures in the past year alone. So I'm going to give you guys 5 lessons that you really need to understand if you're starting or scaling your A&T. Let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. The first thing you really need to realize if you want to hit 40K a month through your SMMA is that attention is what brings the money in, right? It's not, how good your pitch is. It's not about anything. It's just about you need attention, right? And by attention, I mean eyeballs. You need people to see what you sell and what you have to offer and what your product is. Like for example, Apple, right? Yes, they have amazing phones, amazing smartphones, but guess what? If they had no eyeballs in their business, would anyone buy it? If no, like, you can have the best product of all time. You can have the best fulfillment of all time. Or let's say like you can have the best phone of all time. But if no one actually sees your product, if you're not actually marketing your product correctly, you won't get sales. It's just the way it is, right? Like most agencies fail because they just don't know how to get eyeballs in their business, right? But obviously I'm going to try to get eyeballs. If you want to get eyeballs in your business, you need to run paid ads or you need to do outreach. And if you're doing outreach, you need to do a mass volume. It's not like you can't just do maybe 20 a day, maybe 50 a day, or maybe 80 a day. You need to do as much as possible. Hundreds and hundreds a day, because how you get sales is by getting attention on your business. That's literally how it is. If people have no idea what you're doing, how are they gonna know how do I buy from you? Like I hope you understand what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have attention, you literally cannot make any money. It's just the way the agency game is. Like, let's not even the agency game, any business in general. If you can't get eyeballs or attention, you can't get sales, right? That'd be the first thing. It's also one of the most important things that a lot of people miss out. I've seen personally an agency scale to 25K a month and die down from there because they were not able to get attention. They were not able to get people to actually opt into their funnel because they didn't actually focus on their marketing. Like, yes, you can focus on fulfillment, but at the end of the day, if you can't get people to actually come into your funnel and buy your service, then there's no point. Because at the end of the day, you only make money when people buy from you. That's literally like, if you can't get people to buy your, like if you can't get people to see and actually have eyeballs in your business, you can't get sales, right? Number 2 is don't be a commodity. And if you don't understand what that means, it's basically don't be the same as everybody else. Like, why should someone go and buy, why should buy a service from you when he can go and buy from somebody else at the same exact, like he does the same thing as you and does the same exact fulfillment and he charges the same cost. And at that point, you're like, all you're really doing is competing on price. Like if Apple, like I'm gonna keep this as the same example. Why does Apple and Samsung have the same price? One can go on top because they're literally the same phones, right? But Apple is able to charge a little bit more if they wanted to because of their ecosystem that they have. They're actually different, right? I'm keeping Apple as the same example for this whole video so you guys can actually understand exactly like what I'm trying to tell you guys is that don't be a commodity and be different. Now you're probably asking yourself, Mo, how do I become different? Like I'm doing the same thing as somebody. How do I become different? How you frame your offer, like how you frame your offer, like your actual offer, how you frame your offer itself, how you frame your whole fulfillment. There's a lot of ways to be different, right? Just look at every single agency that you're competing against and see what exactly are they doing. What exactly are these people doing? Now, how can I be different from them? That's exactly what I did. Like I was only able to scale my agency because I was different than everybody else. I wasn't the same. I was not doing the same offers as everybody else. I was doing a lot of different things. Like for example, everyone right now is doing, let's say, Facebook ads for I guess everyone, right? I saw the cost center part. At first, I implemented a cost center into my agency. Right? Yes, it was a little bit of a commodity, but it's not the same as everybody else. Like for example, I just signed a 5.3K a month retainer the other day, literally last week, exactly on Tuesday last week, a 5.3K a month retainer. And the reason why I was able to do that is because I offer something different. Instead of just doing only Facebook ads and an appointment setting, I did on the Facebook ads, appointment setting, SEO, and Google ads all at the same time for 5.3K a month off one client, by the way. It's not like, just off one client itself. Like, it's literally just that simple. Just don't be a commodity and be different. Because if you're the same as everybody else, they have no reason why they should buy from you. Because you're just the same person. I can just go by, like, let's say, like, He doesn't make a decision today, right? He doesn't make a decision on your sales calls today. Okay, it's fine. You know, in a few months, he'll get hit with the same ad, with the same pricing. He's going to end up buying that guy. But if you're actually different, he'll actually reach out to you. Like, I have people reaching out to my A&T a month after the sales call saying, hey, man, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Because I'm different than everybody else. The whole sales process is different. Everything's different by my A&T. That's so much really it, right? Now, number 3 is let your product sell itself. And by that, I don't mean like you don't really have to, I guess, learn sales, but I'm telling you guys right now, if you have results to show for, you have case studies to show for, selling becomes so much easier. Just in general, selling deals becomes a lot easier. In the month of October, right? We had a peak month on client results. I'm telling you guys, appointments were flowing. This is where we actually focused on our fulfillment like heavily. Like I really focused on my clients and I wanted to get as many testimonies as possible. And in that month alone, we closed at a 50%. At a 50%. And it's not because let's say we got better at sales. It's just because we have more proof to show for. Like I'm telling you guys right now, we hop on sales calls now knowing that we will close at least 1 out of 3 people that hop on a sales call with us. Just because of having results to show for. Our product is just carrying our whole, like it's carrying everything for us. Having a good product will pay off in the long run. Like I'm telling you guys right now, if you don't have any clients right now, just do free trials. Just do free trials and get client results. Because when you can show that on your ads, you just sell more. You can implement it in your sales process. You can implement it in your ads, in your outreach. When you have results to show for, people trust you more. And when people trust you more, people buy more of your services. They want to pay you because at the end of the day, you're solving a problem, like a big problem that they have, and they know you have the solution for it, and you're showing them, look, I have your solution, and look, I did it for this guy and this guy and this guy. Like, I can actually do exactly what I say. It's so much easier to help people like that. The 4th thing you really need to realize if you want to hit 40K a month and above is that you need to fucking track your numbers, bro. Like I'm telling you guys right now, tracking your numbers is very important because how are you supposed to know something is not right? Let's say your show rate is not right, or let's say your ad costs. How are you supposed to know that if you can't track your numbers? Like if you don't have numbers to actually see exactly what's going on. Like I've hopped on so many coaching calls. Like I host calls for free, and I hop on to help people out and everything like that. Especially if it comes down to ads. If you're running paid ads, if you're not tracking your numbers, you're doing everything wrong, right? I'll hop on a call with them and they tell me, hey, Mo, my ads are not working, this and this. The first question I always ask someone is, what's your cost per qualified call and what's your cost per acquisition? And they say, I don't know. I think it's XYZ. No, it's not about I think. It's what's the number? Because you saying I think, you're just telling me in like an emotional answer. Because you don't know the numbers. Like you're trying to say all based on your emotions. Like for example, if your ads are really not working well and like you're not tracking it, you're just gonna tell me a high number just because you think it's high. Like you have to track your numbers because how are you supposed to basically like fix something unless you have to know exactly what is going on. It's step by step. Like for example, if you're running ads, you need to know what's my cost per lead, what's my cost per appointment, what's my cost per qualified show, what's my cost per show, what's my cost per acquisition. That's front end. Like if you have those front end numbers, even if you're doing cold outreach, right? Cold outreach itself, right? Like if you have let's say every time I do 100 calls, I get an appointment. Or let's say you get 2 appointments or maybe 4 appointments. It depends how good you are cold calling, right? Let's say every 100 calls, you get 5 appointments. Now, out of those 5s, how many show? Okay, how many calls did it take me to get a show? Now, how many calls did it take me to get a closed client? Like having those numbers, I'm telling you guys right now, business is all numbers, guys. Like it's all numbers. Every A&T, everything's numbers, guys. Like everything is literally numbers. If you can track, exactly what's happening at every step, I'm telling you guys right now, like the same thing will happen again. Even on your front end, if you track how many SMSs like it takes you, how many calls it takes you to get a client, if you do those same amount of calls and you don't change a single thing in your script, you do the same thing, you will sign another client with those exact amount of calls because that's just the way business works. It's all numbers. Like I'm telling you guys right now, everything is numbers in business. Like track your numbers, track everything you do. If you're doing cold outreach or paid ads, especially if you're doing paid ads, because being able to track your numbers is how you scale your ads accordingly. Because like for example, if you if you don't pay the ads and you did about 20K a month, right? If you tracked everything, you would know exactly how much do I have to spend to hit 40K a month. How much do I have to spend to get to hit 100K a month? Okay, I'm onboarding a new closer. How much extra spend do I have to add for me to get them, let's say 5 calls a day or 8 calls a day? Like, tracking your numbers, guys. Like, track your numbers. If you're not tracking your numbers, I'm telling you guys right now, track your fucking numbers ASAP. Like, start tonight. It's not like, I'm not joking with you guys right now. Like me, I know a cost, like how much it costs me to acquire a client. It costs me $500 to acquire a client. So I know every time if I put $500 into the ads, I get a client back. And if I don't get a client back, it means I did something wrong. There's something that was wrong in my sales process. There's something I did not do right. Once you have that confidence is when you can actually scale your agency to the next level. Now, the last and final thing is SACA, right? You guys probably have heard this a lot. If you've been in the Instagram for a while, you probably already know this term. It's basically it's scheduling appointments and closing appointments, right? And that's all that matters, guys. If you're not scheduling appointments, you can't close appointments. That's literally what it is. It's that you want to schedule as many appointments as possible. Focus on, I want to schedule as many appointments as possible. If you're doing cold outreach, if you're doing it doesn't matter what your acquisition method is. Whatever your acquisition method is, you just want to put full force at it. Full force. Complete, like, just just put your max into it. Say, I want to book as many as possible. Because remember, the more appointments you have on your calendar in general, the more clients you close. In my first month, when I did 8K, when I did $8,000 my first month, and I'm saying my first month I did basically $8,000, I booked around 60 to 70 appointments, I believe, in that month. And my first month I did 40K a month, I booked 260 sales calls. Like, I want you guys really, like, I have those numbers. I can pull up all those numbers right now. Like, I have a KPI sheet for the whole, like, my whole last year and this year right now. It tracks everything. So I know my KPIs and everything like that. But it's just, you just want to schedule as many appointments as possible. In the month of July, I needed a full calendar every day for 2 closers. And I was spending $600 a day. Because I would have maxed out through calendar. Because that's how I can make as much money as possible. That's how I can close as many clients as possible. Because if you don't have appointments in your calendar, you can't close. Even if the close rate is, let's say, 40%, you shouldn't be focusing on I just need like maybe 4, I just need like only 4 appointments a day. No. You need 12 appointments a day. As many appointments as fucking possible. I hope you got some value in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.